Hi, bit of a different video today. As you may or may not know, I am currently reading this juggernaut, The Stand, by Stephen King. Spoiler alert, absolutely spectacular book. I am currently sitting at page 750 to be exact, chapter 53? 53. But I'm having some issues. My reading is going a lot slower than I would like it to be. Nothing to do with the book. Purely just my own time management. But what I want to do today, I sort of have the rest of the day off. I should have some decent reading time today. So what I want to do is there's 400 pages left, give or take, in the book. I want to make as big of a dent as I can in those 400 pages. I don't know if it's going to be realistic to finish all those 400 pages today, but I'm going to do my absolute best. And I want to bring you guys along with me on my journey. During my recordings today, you might see me switch in between the physical book and my e-reader, just because, well, it's a chunky boy, and reading from the e-reader is just a lot more comfortable. Yeah, join me on my journey today, and let's see where we end up. That was exhausting. I wonder how much I've read so far. Oh, for fuck! This whole video is going to be spoiler free, so if you have or haven't read the book yet, it's not going to matter because I'm not going to spoil anything. And if I do talk about something in the story, I'm going to keep it super vague, so I won't give anything away, like, trust me. For those of you who don't really know what The Stand is all about, very quickly I will give you a short synopsis. A deadly virus was released accidentally from a military facility, and it wiped out 99% of the population. Now, the people that are left wandering this post-apocalyptic wasteland are being plagued by dreams. In one of the dreams, they see a dark hooded figure who is pretty much the representation of everything evil. The Dark Man, the Adversary, Randall Flagg. He's known by many names, the Walking Dude. And he's gathering an army to basically wipe out everyone that's left in the world. On the contrary, people also have dreams about an old woman called Mother Abigail, who is pretty much the representation of God's messenger, so to speak. And they both are trying to gather as many people as they can to support them in the final conflict. And that's basically the gist of it, because I don't want to give too much away, of course. I'm having some issues at the moment, and it's more my own fault, because it's been a while since I was able to read the book. And what Stephen King did so brilliantly in the first part of the story was he really fleshed out all the main characters. Like, he took his time so you could really get to know them, get to know their history, their story. In the part of the story where I am now, there's so many like side characters being dropped into the story as well. Because there are so many, and because it's been a while since I've read the book, sometimes when someone gets mentioned or someone pops up in a scene, I'm like, who is this guy again? What's going on here? And that's a bit of a shame because, as I said in the beginning, he took his time. He did it so well to flesh out all the characters, and now it sometimes feels like he's dumping characters by the bucket load into the story, like you don't get enough time to get to know everybody. Listen to this. Decide, do I put my shirt back on or take everything else off? You might think, well, it's just two people who are getting frisky, but the decision that one of these characters is making in this moment is going to be super important for how the rest of the story develops, because he was going one way up until now, and then he was looking like he was going the other way, and then whatever he decides in this moment is going to like firmly set him off into one of the two directions. And I think he's going to make the wrong choice, which is going to have huge implications, because it's going to put a lot of people in danger. And I'm getting nervous. I'm getting really nervous now, but we'll see how it goes. So, I'm at page 810. So I'm about 60 pages in. Hold on, I'll be right back. Let me tell you, reading is hungry work. Because I get really hungry when I read. So I'm making myself a bit of a snack. Don't worry, this isn't gonna turn into some kind of cooking channel. I'm just preparing something quickly. First one is gonna be like a typical Spanish dish, I suppose. Pan con tomate. It's basically bread with some tomato juice, salt, pepper, some oregano, some olive oil, and that's it. You just mix it, then paste it onto your bread, and it's spectacular. Little bit. It goes especially well on toast. And the second one is going to be with mozzarella, Italian ham, pesto, tomato slices. Am I missing something? Super delicious, and it's going to give me the energy I need to get back into the fight. I'm really loving The Stand. I mean, again, Stephen King's character work is unparalleled, and there's a certain thing that is going on right now in the story. Let's say the good guys are preparing for a mission, and I'm pretty certain that that mission is going to be the perfect recipe for absolute shattering, heartbreaking moments. So I'm already preparing myself mentally for that, and I'm coming to the realization that I'm not ready at all for what I think is gonna come. Maybe nothing happens, maybe it all turns out great, but I'm assuming that some stuff is gonna go wrong. But we'll see. I'm out of salad. Oh well, it'll have to do. The knife. This is a knife. We start with some mozzarella. 1, 2. Then some ham. Yes, like that. And some tomato slices. And then usually I put some salad on top. All right, so that's number one. Boop. And for number two, give it a quick stir. Then we just lay it on top. Let me bring you in closer so you can have a better look. So these are like that. Pan con tomate. And this is the other one. Buen provecho, as we say in Spanish. It's so delicious and so simple to make. Just try it out, it's amazing. How the stand describes how the virus spread, how the pandemic actually began. It's so scary, so realistic. It's so tense as you're reading it because it happens so fast and there's pretty much nothing you can do. Because Stephen King really describes almost step by step how everything happens. And if you had read this while the pandemic was going on here or in the entire world, it must have been so scary, because it's the same way how every other disease spreads. It was really well done. Wow. And if you're wondering who my favorite characters are, I'm kind of torn in between Nick Andros and Stuart Redman. I think they're both at the top for me. And for the guys on the other side, I'm super intrigued by his nickname is the Trash Can Man, or Trashy for short. I'm not gonna go into why, but he's a really interesting character. There's a lot of facets to his personality and to what drives him. I mean, if you haven't read the story, keep an eye out for that one, because he's some guy, and I'm thinking there's some foreshadowing what he might do in the coming chapters of the book. So I'm scared and eagerly excited to see what happens, both at the same time. There's one I forgot on the side of the good guys. It's, of course, one of the fan favorites, Tom Cullen. Tom is pretty much the embodiment of innocence, and I also have a feeling that he's going to play a huge role in the later chapters and how the story unfolds. But I fear there's going to be heartbreak involved into that one as well. Maybe not, I don't know. But that's what I'm expecting. And something else I just realized just now is that I forgot to put on the pesto. I'm an idiot. Sorry guys, but I have to walk around for this one. Holy, 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 holy. I am about there. And I've just read what is perhaps one of the greatest chapters I've ever read. That was something. It is a chapter where, no spoilers of course, but someone is getting hypnotized. The ones who have read the book will obviously know what I'm talking about. Wow, that was special. That was amazing. Oh, that was so well written. That was really emotional, super exciting, even tense. It's really hard to describe how I felt while reading this because there were so many emotions coming at me at the same time. This is just more proof of how incredible of a writer Stephen King is. and how amazing his character work is. Someone was getting hypnotized, and all the things that that person said were so gripping. I have a feeling that when I reach the end of the story, I'm gonna think back to this chapter and realize how even more impactful it actually was. Because I have a feeling that things were said in this chapter that are going to end up being super important, vital, paramount to the story. Wow. I mean, if there is one word that I could use to describe this chapter, it's just wow. What have I just read? The brilliance of it is that it's not an action-packed or some kind of epic scene where something massive is happening. It was just a very small, emotional moment with a couple of amazing characters that made them even more amazing in my mind. It was one of those moments that when you're reading something and you realize that it's something amazing, and like time seems to slow down. Like everything stops around you. You're just honed in on the page, taking it all in. And it's one of those unique moments that makes reading so special, so amazing. This one is going to stick with me for a very long time. Yeah. All right. Back to reading. Quick update. I'm in my eldest son's room because downstairs everyone's watching TV, and I have to be quiet because my youngest is sleeping in the room next door. But I'm sitting at page 870, so about 120 pages plus that I've been able to read today. I haven't had as much time as I would have wanted because, as I mentioned, one of my kids is sick, so I had to tend to him. But the time that I did get, I was able to get some decent reading done. I'm coming to the point in the story where, for me, the story is never slow. It does take its time at certain moments, but it's necessary, I find. And now I have a feeling that things are like really getting in motion. Something big is getting close. And I think it's going to be bad. Bad in the sense for the characters, for the good guys. It's hard to talk because I don't want to give anything away for potential new readers. But for the people who have read the book probably know what I'm talking about. So I'm very excited to see what happens in the coming chapters. And I'm thoroughly enjoying this book. It's an absolute masterpiece. I was preparing myself for something bad to happen. Something that I just knew that was coming. But this one's rough. This one is a tough pill to swallow. But out of each tragedy comes a bit of hope. And let's say a group of chosen ones have been sent on a mission to make their last stand. And I still have a ton of questions because there's still a lot of stuff going on that I'm trying to wrap my head around, trying to theorize what I think is going to happen, who's going to make it, who isn't going to make it, how this has all been laid out, how this last stand is being planned and presented, introduced, is really interesting. It makes me really, really exciting for what is going to come. I have to continue reading, and so I shall. I have reached page 932. chapter 61. That brings us close to the 200 mark, which I'm definitely going to reach tonight. I might make a final push to reach 250. I'll see how it goes. It's 11 p.m. right now, but I'm really happy with the progress I've made today. The story is amazing. I mean, he just keeps getting better, and the stakes keep getting raised. It's proving to be quite the experience. A heartbreaking one at times, but nonetheless an amazing experience, an amazing story. Stephen King is, it's ridiculous how good of an author he is. Anyways, enough talk. Let's continue reading. So yesterday was a day of heavy reading, but due to circumstances, not as much as I would have liked. But I did manage to get a pretty hefty chunk done of the book. I am now sitting comfortably at page 1001. So that's 250 plus pages that I read yesterday. And these aren't your like average pages. These are like pretty small font, top to bottom. So all in all, even though I would have liked to maybe even have finished the book yesterday, I still think I did a good job. What that means is I am probably going to finish the book, I think maybe tomorrow, because I have to go back to work and I won't be having that much time to read anymore. But I think I should be able to finish it by the end of this week. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to add my final thoughts whenever I finish the book at the end of this video, completely spoiler free. And that'll be a nice way to wrap this one up. And that means that when this one is done, I can finally start with my Path on the Beam. All the preparation is done, so I can finally tackle The Gunslinger, book 1 in the Dark Tower. So a lot more Dark Tower stuff on the horizon. I specifically wanted to read It, Salem's Lot, and The Stand in preparation for the Dark Tower. There's a couple more novels that I'm going to be reading in between the Dark Tower books, like for example, Insomnia, Talisman, Black House, some of the novellas as well. If you want to know my exact reading order that I'm going to follow for the Dark Tower, go back to the video. I'll link it somewhere on the screen where I explain my whole reading order, because that's the one I think I'm going to stick to. I won't be making that many changes to that. But you never know, never say never. So yeah, stay tuned for my final thoughts on the book whenever I finish it. It's going to be one of these days, either tomorrow or the day after, I expect. So I'll see you then. Bye. I did it. I finished The Stand. I can't even find words to describe what I'm going through at the moment. I'm processing so many things. I feel like I've gone on such an incredible journey. A journey that was both exhilarating, it was tense, it was filled with joy, with beautiful moments. It was filled with absolutely heartbreaking moments. What Stephen King created here, this is one of the greatest novels ever, in my opinion. I literally finished the book, like, what is it, like 3-4 minutes ago. And after I finished it, I was literally just lying here staring at the ceiling, trying to like process everything that this story has made me feel. If you think it's going to be a boring, uninteresting story that's way too long, it really isn't. It's hard to explain that a book that is almost 1,200 pages long, I can't recall a single moment where I thought, like, is something gonna happen or not this again? Or I loved everything about this book. It doesn't drag. It's not boring. It is slow, perhaps at times. It did slow down at the 3/4 mark of the book. But whenever it slows down, it feels like it's doing because it's necessary for the story. So you can get reacquainted with certain characters to really get a grip of what the stakes are. And Stephen King does that brilliantly. And for me, personally, I really don't think that this book is too long. It's exactly, it's perfect size. Everything that is in this book needs to be in there. For me, there is zero fat in this story, and it's almost 1,200 pages long, as I said. After finishing, you feel like you've gone through everything along with the characters, like you were there. All the characters are so well fleshed out. They are flawed. They have problems, insecurities. Each one of them is a hero in the story. And at one point or another, each one of them plays a key role in the development of the story. And it's such an epic journey that I'm almost out of breath at the moment. Like I need to recuperate. I need to like slow it down, have a breather. That's how I feel right now. Don't be intimidated by the book size. Just pick it up, take your time, start reading, and chances are once you start, you're not going to be able to stop. And that's what happened to me. And up next is going to be The Gunslinger, the first in the Dark Tower series. So yeah, I'm looking up because it's right over there. I'm really excited to get started on that one. The next video is probably going to be my reading vlog of The Gunslinger. So I hope to see you there. And until then, bye-bye.